Arby's and Jack in the Box. Those were my go-tos. All right, all the way up to when I was weighing 285 pounds. That was my go-to. So a lot of the man that you see in front of you right now was built upon that. Now, I'm not saying that it's good. I'm not saying that I'm proud of it, but I am saying that I did learn the hard way what fast food does to your body. Now, that being said, if I had known what I know today, I honestly do think that I would not have gained as much weight as I did. My lifestyle wasn't very good, much like many of you are probably regularly hitting fast food restaurants. But I do feel confident that if you apply these 7 cardinal rules, you can get by with some fast food. Look, I'm human, okay? I go to fast food every now and then, okay? I try to avoid it like the plague, and I try to make sure that I never, ever even get remotely close to what I used to be in the past. But we all run into these circumstances where we run into Habit Burger and we grab a burger, or we run in somewhere just to grab something because we're in a pinch. So let's go ahead and break down the 7 cardinal rules of fast food. All right, first off, please make sure you go ahead and hit that red subscribe button and hit that little bell icon to turn on notifications. That way you never ever miss a beat. And after you watch this video, go ahead and check out Fat Snacks. I put a link down there in the description. The reason that I put them there is every time you feel like you want to go through the drive-thru and get something sweet, opt for something like a keto cookie from Fat Snacks. Okay, they've done it right. They've done keto cookies in a pretty clean way to make it so that you can still stay in ketosis and still get good, clean ingredients in your body, not stuff that you don't know where it came from. So check them out after you watch this video. All right, cardinal rule number 1, and these are in no particular order. Opt for the beef instead of chicken at any fast food restaurant. Here's the thing. Most people think that red meat is not going to be as good as white meat. Now, there's all kinds of different arguments that you could have there, but when it comes down to fast food, it's a pretty clear winner when it comes to red meat. Why? Because most fast food chicken is not even really chicken. Okay, it's extruded chicken. And what that means is they've taken chicken, they've taken all parts of the chicken, whether it's going to be bones, everything, and they run it through this machine that grinds it and then extrudes it, and they have to soak it in ammonia and all kinds of other chemicals just to make it even palatable. If you've ever looked at the white meat from a fast food place, you see that it's all nebulous and weird when you break it open. It's like cloudy and pocketed, like there's little pockets of air in it. That's because it's literally just extruded. Now, I'm not trying to gross you out. I'm trying to say that you are much better off going for beef than you are going with chicken. The same with fish. It's just so wild because we would normally think the opposite. The beef is not going to be grass-fed. It's not going to be grass-finished. I know Carl's Jr. does have some options that are a little bit cleaner. But, you know, at the end of the day, at least you're getting meat, at least you're getting beef. You're not getting some chicken byproduct, okay? And the fish is a whole different story. You're looking at all kinds of farm-raised fish that have so much in the way of antibiotics in them that you may as well just ask your doctor to put you on some penicillin because it's that extreme, all right? So that's the simple one. Eat the beef. Okay, the second one is going to be one that's really tricky, okay? That's going to be you're better off not having vegetables. What? What does that mean? I don't mean on your burger. I mean with the salads. Okay, how many times have you gone into a fast food restaurant and you said, well, I'm getting this burger, but I want to get a salad instead of the fries? Well, here's what ends up happening. That salad, you're not going to eat unless you have salad dressing, because I can almost guarantee the salad that you're getting from a fast food restaurant is going to be really just plain iceberg lettuce that has practically no flavor, some dry carrots, and maybe a couple cherry tomatoes. The only thing that's even making that worth eating is some dressing. Well, the bummer is the dressing usually has between 200 and 400 calories in it, and it's made with these terrible, terrible vegetable oils that are not expeller pressed. First ingredient on all these soybeans, they're just really low quality, high omega-6 oils that are gonna load your body up with calories, but also trigger an inflammatory response within the body. Okay, now, if you get anything that has any thicker consistency, it's gonna be hydrogenated. Okay, now hydrogenated is pure trans fat. It defeats the purpose of getting a salad, right? So you're getting a pure trans fat salad dressing that is only going to take, just a shy 51 days to break down in your body. That's how long it takes to break down the CIS bonds that are in hydrogenated fats. Not good stuff, and I don't need to go into a lot of detail on what a hydrogenated fat is. We just have to know they are not good. Now, what's funny is that people think they need to get their veggies in when they go to fast food. Well, there's an interesting study that was published by the Journal of Gastroenterology that found that fiber didn't really play much of a role. They took a group of different test subjects, subjects that got rid of fiber out of their diet entirely, subjects that limited their fiber, and subjects that kept fiber in the diet. These were all patients that had irritable bowel syndrome, they had gastric issues, right? Well, guess what? They found those that actually cut the fiber out of their diet entirely ended up having significant improvement and much more in the way of bowel movements. Now, the group in the middle had a slightly better improvement, and the group that kept the same amount of fiber in their diet, well, guess what? They had no improvement. This isn't to say fiber is bad. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is don't concern yourself with trying to get fiber from the salad to counteract what you're getting in the way of the burger. Okay, it's not going to do you any good. You're not trying to get that little bit of fiber is not going to help you. It's a negligible amount, and what you end up putting in your body in the way of those hydrogenated fats and non-expeller pressed canola oil, you're going to do way more damage. Okay, so just skip the salad, go for just the burger. Now, it goes without saying, as I'm talking about all of this, that you should be skipping the bun. Almost every single fast food restaurant, Carl's Jr., Wendy's, In-N-Out, all of them will make it as a lettuce wrap now. McDonald's still has a little bit of trouble doing that, but almost everything will make them with a lettuce wrap. If you go to Taco Bell and you get a burrito bowl and do it without the rice and beans. Point is you can do this without the bun. Okay, so that is cardinal rule number 3. Always skip the bun. The gluten is what is going to cause an issue for you. It's not necessarily just the carbohydrates. If you're keto, then absolutely, the carbohydrates need to stay out of the equation. So that means no fries. But in most cases, it's the gluten. Now, I don't want to just scare you from gluten because I want you to just make healthy decisions in general. But gluten can definitely cause some issues with your thyroid through some, basically, it's called molecular mimicry. What ends up happening is your body takes the food that you ate, the gluten, and you require a specific protein called zonulin that gets released whenever you digest gluten. So what ends up happening is this zonulin triggers sort of a cross reaction where the body attacks its own thyroid because zonulin looks so much like a particular antibody. So long story short, basically when you consume gluten, your body triggers this cascade of wars on your thyroid. This could or could not affect you depending on your genetic makeup. It's not really worth the risk because your thyroid is so critical to your metabolism. So let's just go ahead and just leave the bun out of the equation whether you are keto or not, because they will all take care of you there. Cardinal rule number 4, and this is a super cool one. This is surrounding the world of cheese and mayo. You're gonna actually want to opt for the cheese instead of mayo in most cases. Only if you know that the cheese is real cheese. Okay, there are some fast food places that use real cheese. Okay, you just have to look at the actual list of the ingredients and you actually have to look at the menu a little bit. Chick-fil-A's Colby cheese is real. Wow.
That's fine.
I'm not going to lie.
Real cheese.
Real cheese.
100% real cheese.
Wendy's has some real cheese options. McDonald's does not. A lot of these, if you just look around, you'll find them. Here's a quick little tip. If it says pasteurized cheese food, it's about 51% or slightly more real cheese. And if it says pasteurized cheese product, it's less than 51% cheese. Okay, so you just pay attention to that, or just ask for a menu when you look at the ingredients, okay? Because that's the big thing. A lot of times it's tricky. You don't know whether it's sneaky fake cheese or if it's real cheese. But if it's real cheese, you're better off to say, hey, hold the mayonnaise and get the real cheese, because at least you're getting a 100% real food product. It may not be the best quality, but at least it's real. Okay, if you go for the mayonnaise, you're looking at hydrogenated stuff, but worst of all, I have yet to find a fast food place that uses mayonnaise that is not made from soybean oil. Okay, soybean oil or low quality canola oil. Soybean oil is going to be the worst oil that you could probably put into your body. I would much rather you get the calories from the cheese than get the calories from the soybean oil and mayonnaise. Plus, it's just one of those just wasteful calories in terms of fast food. Don't get me wrong, I have done videos talking about the health benefits of mayonnaise. I love mayonnaise. Okay, but when you go to fast food, you're talking about an extra 200 to 300 calories that's coming in from mayonnaise that you barely even taste, and then you're going and you're holding the cheese, which is actually the decent fat. So it's wild, but yes, have them put the cheese on there as long as you can at least make sure it's at least 51% real cheese. If it's less than 51% real cheese, then either hold the cheese entirely and go for a little bit of mayo, or hold the cheese and hold the mayo. Because I really don't want to see you goofing up and having that mayo and having it just mess up your results long term because you're feeling so inflamed and feeling so, well, estrogenic, because the soy is such a powerful phytoestrogen. Now, if you do have an option to get higher quality mayo, or you do have an option to just go for a little mayo instead of cheese, you at least do get some benefit because it is the eggs. The eggs are high in choline, so they can give you a little bit of energy, give you that neurotransmitter that you need for brain function. Okay, I mean, you get some good stuff there. I mean, for all intents and purposes, mayo is not a bad food. It's just all dependent on the oil that it's made with. All right, cardinal rule number 5, especially if you're keto, double up on the mustard. Enjoy that mustard, but hold the ketchup. Mustard, just because it's a condiment, isn't bad. Okay? In fact, most mustard is just high in sodium and mustard seed, and maybe they might put some processed preservatives in there, but it's really not all that bad. When you look at ketchup, and I mean any ketchup that's going to be at a fast food restaurant is going to be with high fructose corn syrup. And FYI, fructose pretty much goes straight to storage. Okay? Glucose absorbs and it gets into the cells. That's bad enough. Fructose has to get metabolized by the liver. And if the liver, for any reason at all, cannot process that fructose, it's going to do what it does next, which is divert it over to body fat storage. It's also extremely high glycemic. So if you are doing keto, that's going to kick you out of keto if you have a lot of it. So just double up on the mustard. And if you don't like mustard, I don't know, use hot sauce. Okay? The sauces are not great, but the sauces are where the extra calories and extra just impact on your body just comes into play that we tend to underthink. We don't really think about it a lot, right? Okay, so when we look at ketchup, oh, it's harmless. It's going to be 30 calories, 40 calories. But then you load it up and you have a bunch of high fructose corn syrup and you've got 10, 12 grams of carbs, most of which coming from sugar. It's just not good stuff. Okay, so when you have mustard, at least you're not adding carbs. You're adding some sodium. It's not the end of the world, okay? And always try to go for a Dijon mustard whenever you can. It's just a little bit less processed, a little bit more in the way of, I guess you could call it aged, and it has more of a vinegar taste. At least then you get the vinegar, which is going to give you an acetic acid effect, which actually helps lower blood sugar. So I'd take Dijon mustard over regular mustard. All right, cardinal rule number 6, when it comes to the drinks, this is a really interesting one. I understand that you want to go for a Diet Coke because it's lesser calories. And I understand the reasoning behind all of it. And I also understand that a Diet Coke now and then isn't going to kill you. However, I have a better solution that still can taste halfway decent. Remember, I'm not here to tell you to just abstain from everything. I'm trying to give you a practical solution and a substitution. You are better off to have iced tea and go for 1 Splenda in your iced tea than you are to go for a Diet Coke. Why is that? Well, it comes down to picking your poison, right? Aspartame and acesulfame potassium that are in Diet Coke are really bad. Splenda is pretty darn bad. But Splenda would be the lesser of the two evils in this case, especially when it comes down to keto. Why is that? Because at least Splenda only has 1 or 2 bodies of evidence saying that it's bad, and mainly surrounding the world of gut bacteria. Splenda has been shown to eliminate about 50% of our gut bacteria, especially if we're doing it regularly. So definitely not good stuff, but if you require that sweet fix and you just can't get around it for your fast food trip, there you go, iced tea with a Splenda. Whereas Diet Coke, first of all, there are quite a few bodies of evidence showing that aspartame is not good for us and can cause some pretty serious issues in the body. But when it comes down to just our general fitness and fat loss and low carb goals, acesulfame potassium, which is another sweetener, acesulfame K on a label, you'll see it like that. Okay, that has been shown to cause what is called a cephalic phase insulin response, or CPIR, meaning just the sweet taste of that acesulfame potassium triggers an insulin response, whereas Splenda doesn't seem to trigger an insulin response. What that means is our body tastes that, our tongue tastes it, and it triggers the body to produce insulin, just as if we were having carbohydrates. So that means you spike your insulin along with consuming fats from your burger without a bun. So it's still going to make it so that fat can store as storage, right? Fat's going to come into the body and store. We just have to be really careful with that. And again, I'm not here to say that it's going to kill you, but 1 or 2 times is one thing. But if you're going to go frequently and you're using this guide to help you get through, just your work week, I understand there's people that need that. You're better off to go with tea and Splenda. All right, now let's talk breakfast and let's go on to cardinal rule number 7. And this isn't always going to be the case, so some places have cleaner ones than others, but opt for the eggs instead of the sausage. If you're going to get an egg McMuffin, just get the egg without the McMuffin. Don't do the sausage McMuffin. Why is that? Eggs from fast food are not good. They're nothing to write home about. But sausage from fast food is even worse when it comes down to what you could write home about, all right? Because sausage, the pork, has so much in the way of antibiotics that come into it when it's mass produced. Pork is one of those heavily modified, antibiotic-ridden foods that you can consume when it comes to fast food. Here's the interesting thing. Good, clean pork is like really, really good meat. But poor quality pork is like really, really bad. My point in saying that is they're on complete opposite ends of the spectrum depending on the quality. If you get bad pork, it's like the worst of all meats. If you get good pork, it's like the best of all meats, but there's very little in between. That's what's hard. So fast food, I highly doubt they're getting the best quality pork. Eggs, not much better. In fact, if you could just get chicken sausage or something like that, it'd be better, but you don't really have that option for breakfast. So like Taco Bell has their egg bowls that you can get in the morning, like the egg skillet bowl. If you're not doing keto, that's probably a clean option. Just get it without the chorizo, get it without the sausage. Okay, and if you're keto, then get it without the beans and rice and just go ahead and have the eggs. It's really not that bad. What you have to be careful with is sometimes they take those eggs and they mix them with their processed cheese. So you want to go for the ones that are pure cheese. And you're going to have to do your research there. I do have a video that breaks down all the fast food options for keto, or I shouldn't say that, but the top 10 fast food options for keto. So I highly recommend you do check that one out. It's down below in my description. So after you've watched this video, I think that one's going to be a lot of fun for you because I take you around like all the different restaurants and show you what you get, what you couldn't get, what you shouldn't get, all this and that. But this at least gives you a breakdown that you can share with people so that you can teach them, hey, if you're doing keto or hey, if you're eating clean, here's at least the cardinal rules. I can expand on this more, but I need to get feedback from you. So go ahead and put it down in the comment section below if you'd like me to go ahead and do more videos surrounding the world of fast food, because it is part of life. Whether you live in America, Europe, India, Asia, whatever, it's still a part of a lot of people's lives. So as always, keep it locked in here on my channel, and I'll see you in the next video.